there is no breakthrough in search for the Coast Guard Dornier aircraft which went missing on the 8th of June over the Bay of Bengal. Now the families of the 3 aviators on board the missing aircraft have sent a direct plea to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi seeking his intervention and help. Wife of Navigator Deputy Commandant Subhash Suresh in a tweet to Prime Minister has told him, and I quote her here, 8 days since my husband Subhash Suresh, pilot of CG791 is missing. Request your attention. #find Subhash. Now the wife of the co-pilot, Deputy Commandant M.K. Soni, has also made a similar plea to the Prime Minister. Soni has said, and I quote her here, my husband Deputy Commandant M.K. Soni and his crew missing for 8 days now. Find M.K. Soni, ICG Dornier, find crew, real heroes, pray for them. Sushma Dhavla, the wife of pilot Deputy Commandant Vidyasagar, has also written to the Prime Minister saying the family is restless and helpless, so please look into it personally and seriously. The families have not lost any hope yet, but the families are very anxious since there has been no positive news in the past 8 days. The families have now started a campaign on major social media websites seeking help in the search. The Coast Guard aircraft that took off from Chennai on Monday evening on a routine surveillance flight was last tracked 16 kilometers east of Chitambram coast by radar in Trichy at 9:23 p.m. On Saturday, a Navy ship picked up intermittent beacon signals from what was likely to be the Dornier, but nothing substantial has been found yet.
I haven't started any campaign and all. Myself and Mrs. Soni, both of us have tweeted to the PMO office requesting for help. It's just a simple request for help. We not got any reply from the PMO office. Every day morning they are calling, from the Coast Guard office, every day morning they are calling, we have formed a WhatsApp group, and every day morning and evening they give us the updates of what is going on from the Coast Guard front. They are giving us. We are totally shattered, and everybody is calling and asking, say the status and say this and that. We actually don't know what to say actually.
And Deputy Editor Shiv Arur joins me live from the newsroom. Shisha Reddy joining me on the phone line from Chennai. First, let me go across to Shiv. Shiv, the last time there was any particular news as far as the search ops was concerned were feeble signals that were picked up, but clearly there was no breakthrough then, and ever since there's been no good news as far as the Dornier search is concerned.
That is correct, Vedika. No specific news about the whereabouts, of this particular aircraft. About 48 hours ago, like you rightly pointed out, very weak intermittent signals, were detected from the seabed in a place where the search operations have been intensified ever since, using a specialized aircraft, a specialized ship, as well as an Indian Navy submarine that's actually in the area, mapping the entire seabed and trying to get a clearer picture of what's really happening. But no. You're absolutely right. No good news so far on what's happening, which is what makes the plight of these 3 families who we've been speaking to, even more desperate, even more anxious. I had a chance to speak with Deepa Subhash, who's the wife of the missing navigator of that aircraft earlier today, and Srisha has also just spoken to her, Vedika. And she said, I'm shattered, I'm anxious. It's unimaginable what these families are actually going through. The Defence Minister, we can tell our viewers, Vedika, spoke personally to the 3 ladies, the wives of the 3 crew on board the missing aircraft, and they're hoping for a miracle right now because the search continues. They get a live update every single morning from the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard's keeping them in the loop. They've made a WhatsApp group with these 3 ladies and are keeping them updated on an hourly basis about the search operations, sharing photographs of what's happening as well with them. So on that side, everything is happening fine. But this is a heartbreaking plea from them to the Prime Minister saying, please ensure that we're doing all we absolutely can to make sure that they find the aircraft.
Shiv, do stay with me. Even Shisha joining me on the phone line. Shisha, it's an appeal and a hope against hope for these 3 families as we speak, and now they want the Prime Minister to intervene and help.
Well, exactly, Vedika. That is what they have appealed. And after 8 days, and they have sent out a message, in fact, tagged the PMO on Twitter and put out a message. So they thought that, yes, they're not denying the fact that the government of India is not doing enough, but they do know that the government of India and Coast Guard are working. And as she also pointed out, that they have this WhatsApp group where they share pictures and they share all the information with what is going on ground. so that they are apprised of what exactly is happening on the search front. But what they have been requesting is that if the Prime Minister can put in a word, they will expedite the process even soon. And if he can intervene, the entire process will get, will start moving faster, because it's been 8 days and there is no exact information of what exactly is happening and where is this missing aircraft and what has happened to all these three people who were traveling on board in the Dornier aircraft. But yes, the families are extremely confident that their relatives and their family members will come back to them. And today, also speaking to us, in fact, the uncle of Subhash, in fact, told that the family is very strong and that is what they need at this point in time. But yes, of course, it is an emotional moment. They're very confident that they've not lost hope or anything, Vedika.
Shisha, do stay with me. Yes, this is a very, very difficult moment for those three families, and in a way, hats off for them to still be strong after 8 days. But coming back to you, Shiv, every possible input, every possible process has been pressed into action, be it by sea or by air, to help find the Dornier. Just take us through the latest in the search ops.
15 aircraft, at least 9 ships, 1 submarine. The most sophisticated equipment available to the Indian Navy and the Indian Coast Guard is currently deployed out there in the Bay of Bengal as we speak, Vedika. So in terms of what's being done, I can guarantee, I can confirm here officially that the government is doing everything it possibly can in terms of resources being applied to this search effort, and the families are being updated every single hour. The emotional aspect of this is something that none of us can really imagine. These are families that have had to live with this absolutely shattering uncertainty for 8 days now. Now, they tried to get in touch with the Defence Minister, who spoke to them personally and said, we are doing everything we possibly can and we will update you. The Chief of the Coast Guard, the Director General of the Coast Guard, Vedika, flew down to Chennai as is protocol. He met with the families, he spent time with the families and explained to them precisely what kind of search operation would actually happen, and he's in touch with them even at this stage. Now, the families reaching out to the Prime Minister is not some kind of a rebellion. They're not angry with the manner in which the search is being carried out. They're just really, really emotional and distressed at this point of time, and they're anxious, for some reassurance, perhaps from the Prime Minister himself, because they've put it out on social media, knowing full well, Vedika, that Narendra Modi is active on social media, for some kind of an assurance from the Prime Minister that everything is actually being done. So we don't know if the Prime Minister will personally reply to those tweets or not. We'll have to wait and watch, but they're hoping for that kind of reassurance, and at a difficult time like this, any reassurance, especially if it's from the Prime Minister, could make all the difference.
Well, our prayers are with the three families, and we're hoping that even after that 8-day search, we do find them coming home. Shiv and Srisha, thank you so much for joining me on that top story here on India Today.